I agree that it's a travesty, but I believe it's a travesty because it exists at all. I don't think that we should be making rules forcing guys to go to school. Like, once you are old enough, and not even old enough, once you are talented enough to sell your wares, I think you should be allowed to do so. And sending them to college for a year is a farce. It's just lining the pockets of the NCAA, and it delays free agency. Because now with the rookie wage scale in the NBA, you're not getting paid as much as you necessarily deserve when you come in. And now you have another year where you're a little bit older, you're a little bit more beat up before you get to free agency. I think all in all, it's bad for the players, which I'm surprised that Kareem comes up on the other side of defending the little guy.
I disagree. I mean, honestly, we don't know.
Really?
What? No. I honestly think that you don't know what kids go through growing up. You don't know. You don't know the situation. You hear the stories later when, guys make it, but we don't know what they really go through. And, like a guy for myself, I went through a lot at a young age that, I just opened up about. And I think if we got an opportunity to go to the league and have a chance to feed our families for the rest of our lives, then that's what we got to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's a simple argument. It's an argument between denying them that opportunity or maybe having a little bit more developed player for the team. Like, I'm never going to fall on the team side in that situation. I'm going to be on the player and Dion Waiters' side in that situation.
Well, I mean, the whole part about it is if you would have made this rule years ago, where guys had to go to the league, go to college at least for 2 years, it wouldn't have been so much of a problem from when we had guys like LeBron and Kobe coming out of high school. Then all of a sudden you want to make it to they have to be 19 years old. Then you got kids that come from high school, go overseas for a year, and then they want to go into the draft, where guys are now making different decisions instead of going into college.
And I think another thing, too, as far as the NCAA is making it so hard.
Exactly.
For guys like us to get in college, to get past the clearinghouse.
Right.
I know I had to go through that. I didn't get cleared until like a couple days before official practice, and it's crazy. It's so hard.
Right.
And I think guys, they know that. So when they get the opportunity, and they got the opportunity to first of all make it past the clearinghouse, and to play and have that platform to show what they could do to go to the next level, why not?
At least one rationale for going to college is to ease that learning curve between high school and the, quote, real world. Is there any legitimacy to that?
No, there's not. There's no legitimacy to that at all because, like Dion was saying, there's this farce focus on education. Like, we have a D-League. If you draft a player and he's not quite good enough to play yet, you send him to the D-League. Don't send him to college and make him pretend, and we're all going to pretend like he's there to get an education when we all know it's just a holding pattern, and then put him through a clearinghouse situation, which they pretend like or they attempt to say that that's about making sure the players are getting educated, when in actuality it's not. The talented players are going to go to the NBA whether they go through this clearinghouse process or not.
Well, the whole thing for me is, I look at it in the sense, it's not just the focus on the education, but it also teaches the young man that he may not be ready to go into the NBA. And some guys may try to come out of high school and not even get drafted. Now what's the next move? Now you can't go to college then because you've already hired an agent and you probably received money already, so now you're going to go overseas. For an 18-year-old kid going overseas, that's worse than going to a college level where you at least have some guidance and advisors to be able to help you. Now you're overseas on your own.
But what about the kid that his grades is bad?
Well, his grades are bad. You go to JUCO. What happens when you go from high school? Listen, when you go to high school to JUCO, you're learning how to be by yourself first and foremost. You're learning about responsibilities. That's what prep schools are for nowadays. Well, same thing. Prep schools. You're going to another year of school. It's not going to the NBA or going to overseas, but you're learning about being able to take care of yourself first and foremost. You're learning that maybe there's reasons why I'm here in this prep school with other guys who also can play, who are trying to take that extra step to get to their goal, which is the NBA.
But if you watch a lot of guys, a lot of young kids now, everybody's going to prep school now.
To turn 19 and then try to go into the league.
That too. You also could play 5 years also, and you can skip, and you can enter the draft too. But I just think from my standpoint, I see why they do it. I see why, because when you hear their stories, you see what they go through. You hear what they go through. They need the money.
Yeah. I mean, it's a flawed system that and
don't get me wrong. As a kid, growing up, my favorite players are Allen Iverson. You see their lifestyle. You don't want to, but also I learned from Allen Iverson lifestyle too, of what not to do.
Yeah, but I'm saying you had time to learn. Some of these guys go in and then all of a sudden they're in the D-League.
But if they ready, why not?
Yeah.
Why sit?
I'm not going to defend the flawed system because no one has a better idea.
I just don't see it changing in any time soon.
I don't see it changing either.
Because we won't make it change.
I'm just picturing the watered down product for the NCAA, and they aren't about to sign up for that.
I'm not here to fight for the NCAA. I'm not here to fight for the NBA. I'm here for the players.
I'm fighting for the NBA.
Yeah, if there's...
I'm not fighting for the NCAA.
Absolutely.
NCAA is making all this money off these kids that's not getting anything from it. So they want the kids to stay in there so the revenue can keep going up.
Of course.
Right. Yeah, it's not about this making sure that they're ready. That's nonsense.
If he's ready,
I'm not here for that.
He's ready, let him go.
I'm here for the players, for the young man, and I'm surprised that Kareem would make the statement that he made because as much as I've read and heard about Kareem, he's always there for those guys. So it surprises me that in this particular case, his interest is in making sure that the NBA product is better, not making sure that the kids aren't being taken advantage of.
But as far as educational-wise, you can always go back.
Yeah, you can.
Even in, like, summertime, you got a lot of time. If you're not in the playoff, you're not competing for a championship, you can go back.
If you have a product that is of value, which is their athletic ability, then you should be able to sell it as soon as you possibly can and get as much money off of it. And I think the point about deferring their hit at free agency is an important one also, because the players, the league and the teams want a more developed player earlier so they can pay him less while he is still productive, and it's just not fair.
Yeah, we all understand why it is the way it is, but tomorrow in about 22 hours, you can hang right here if you want, and you can tell Kareem exactly how you feel.
To his face? I'm good. I'm good. Kareem's a tough dude. I don't want those problems.